My first reaction is this ultimately going to happen? Is it true? I understand that Trump is negotiating in public here, but that was my first question. My second was the thought that this is really troubling for the overall U.S. economy, even outside of Apple, if this ends up, in fact, being true. And then when it comes to Apple, to answer your question there, is that, the impact is going to be as much as 10% and as little as 0%, depending on how Apple wants to share that increased cost with their consumers.
Do you think if this were put in place, Gene, that they would actually push that out in terms of prices onto consumers?
I think it's unlikely. Apple seems to take the approach that they're going to stick with it.
Gene, obviously the stock is taking a hit after hours, but of course it's 25% off its high. It's been almost straight down for a few months here, and I wonder how much of that decline you think was bracing for something like this, along with the other kind of issues that have been plaguing the stock.
I think this is a surprise. Tim Cook's done a great job of trying to be in the good graces of Trump, and I think that I was surprised when I saw it. And so I think that the decline in the stock has been this partial market, there are less disclosures around iPhone units, and I think the third is some of the negative chatter outside of the supply chain. That's been impacted, but this is something that's incremental.
Gene, if this got much worse, how difficult would it be for Apple to move production of its Chinese aspects of its production to the U.S.?
It's probably easier to move the moon off its orbit than it is to shift iPhone production back to the U.S. And so I think that we're talking about something that would take 5+ years to do. There's near 1 million people, even with the cuts at Foxconn, that work on Apple products in China. I mean, this is a massive undergoing. So it's easy to talk about, extremely hard to do.